Your latest news update from Western Mass News.
Good morning, I'm Glenn Kittle, and here's your latest new update from Western Mass News. The West Springfield man charged with firing gunshots 1,000 feet away from a school in West Springfield faced a judge Friday. 34-year-old Michael Linkowski is being held without the right to bail. His defense attorney asked for a competency evaluation to assess his state of mind. He is scheduled to have a dangerousness hearing next week. And Grammy award-winning rapper Nelly performed last night at the Big E. The second weekend is already a historically busy weekend, and the sold-out show is drawing even more fairgoers. People turned out as far away as Georgia just to see the multi-platinum artist, and people who didn't snag a seat still got to enjoy the fair's classic food and rides. The Big E runs through October 2nd. And 2 East Longmeadow natives are dead after a wrong-way crash earlier Thursday morning. Connecticut State Police tell us it happened on I-91 northbound in Windsor, Connecticut just after midnight. They say the car was traveling south in the northbound lane and hit a tractor-trailer head-on. And police say 25-year-olds Dominique Loisel and James Bowen died upon impact.
All right, good morning, everybody, and we are seeing a beautiful day on tap for today. Lots of sunshine out there. Temperatures are reaching the mid-60s. A little bit of a breeze throughout the day today, but that will ease up later on. Just a great day. Heading down to the Big E today. Just grab the sunglasses and maybe the light jacket, and that's about it. Looking good today. Most of tomorrow now is looking rain-free. However, mid-afternoon as we go into the evening, some showers will start to pop up, and we can't rule out an evening thunderstorm. So tomorrow may end up being a first alert weather day. That's why I highlight it in red. It's not out of the question that we get a gusty, strong storm, isolated in nature, but it's something to watch out for. I'd say between about 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. tomorrow as a warm front moves on through. And then behind it, it's just a tiny bit muggy as we go into Monday. Just a leftover spot shower with a high near 70. A little breezy Tuesday, a nice day, maybe a spot shower. Temps near 70 degrees. The bulk of next week is looking nice overall. Wednesday and Thursday a little bit cooler, temps in the mid-60s. Overnight lows will be down in the 40s. That's your forecast of a great Saturday and a great weekend.
Stay with Western Mass News on air, online, and on our app throughout the day for breaking news, weather, and exclusive content.